Do you want to get better at Smash? Do you want to start beating your friends or place better at locals? Well, you're going to need to get better at your neutral, a fundamental aspect of the game. You're also going to need to learn how to take and hold advantage, as well as manage your disadvantage effectively. Other aspects of the game include recovery, edge guarding, ledge trapping, and if you want to start to get in your opponent's head, conditioning and reads are important as well. All of that along with learning how to control your character. But how are you going to get better at these things? Well, I was told by many people to go pick Lucina or a sword fighter and work on my fundamentals. I still don't know how you're supposed to accomplish this. To me, a person who's never played fighting games before, navigating the game with only a sword seemed to be a very big challenge. I have a better idea. Just a disclaimer, this is not a Snake guide. I will not be going over any Snake tech in this video. And this is because somebody has already done that perfectly. This channel, Pop and Swiss, outstanding videos. Go check them out. That being said, any tech I do reference will have a tutorial linked down below. Okay, here's my sales pitch to you. You should play Snake. Why? Well, he's so good. Come on. Snake's entire game plan involves figuring out what exactly your opponent wants to do in every situation. If you're able to learn this, you will be rewarded tremendously. These are obviously key components of Smash Ultimate, and Snake has all the tools you need to easily practice these. He has great frame data on his normals, and each of them do a ton of damage by themselves. Despite being a heavy, he has some of the fastest frame data of any character, as well as a bunch of long-lasting, egregious hitboxes. I say this because fast moves with big hitboxes are easy to work with as you navigate the game, and the damage output provides you with the rewards you need for being right. Combos from this character are very straightforward. They have simple setups, they have only a few moves per combo, and they do a ton of damage. You can practice these along with all of Snake's kill confirms. These are also relatively easy to perform, and the high number and consistency of them means that if you read your opponent correctly at a high percent, you will most often get a kill. Note that you might not even need these kill confirms because Snake's normals will start to kill all by themselves. Snake's specials are obviously incredibly good as well. The moves can be used for a variety of different purposes, which we will touch on later in this video. These tools make every aspect of the game easier for a character like Snake. His neutral, edge guarding, ledge trapping, disadvantage, advantage, they're all very easy compared to most characters. But this is true for a lot of top tiers, but what makes Snake special? We'll get into that in a second. Before that, I would like to mention that Snake can accommodate a wide variety of playstyles. Everyone likes playing this game slightly differently. I personally am a fan of the defensive playstyle. However, I know not everyone is a fan of this type. Good thing Snake allows you to be both defensive and aggressive. You can also play a bait and punish style with his normals and specials. Or you can decide to be big brain and trap your opponent, taking away all of your opponent's options in succession with explosives. Very satisfying. Whichever playstyle you choose, you will no doubt be rewarded for correct decisions based on the structure of the fighting game. At this point, some of you may be thinking, Snake looks really complicated. Isn't he too hard for newer players? No. Snake's large amount of explosives make his gameplay look much more complicated than it actually is. First of all, the character has almost no tech. The only two techniques necessary for advanced gameplay are the B reverse, which shifts Snake's momentum with all of his specials, and something called the Z-nade, a technique enabling you to take the grenade out of the grenade stance and hold it like an item. Both of these aren't super difficult, and I believe you can learn them in training mode in under an hour. Just to be thorough, I will mention other Snake techs, including his turnaround special, which is just like a B reverse, but you don't change your momentum, and something called the wave bounce. These are both completely optional, as most top level Snakes don't even use them. For all of these techniques, I will have tutorials linked in the video description if you want to learn how to do them. Just using the B reverse and the Z-nade, however, you can give Snake incredible movement, all while turning the stage into a literal minefield. This brings me to the main function of Snake specials. They are to limit your opponent's options, enabling you to connect his high damaging normals. This can be done at a basic level simply by limiting where your opponent can be at a given time. These concrete tools are why I believe Snake to be easier to play for a new player. His specials make the game very logical. They can confine your opponent and make them want to do very predictable things. And in a game where knowing what your opponent wants to do is crucial to winning, this is perfect. In the next section, I will go over various situations to show how Snake visually manipulates the stage to his advantage. Check this out. Here, I was playing with a Corrin player and encountered this situation. At first, I land the first hit of F-tilt. At this point, I can either try to go for the second hit, or I can try to go for a mix-up like a grab, because they are more likely to mash shield because there's a grenade right there. I was right about the shield, but I missed my grab. The grenade blows up and the opponent is left above me. Often, opponents like to mash out of this kind of situation. I see this coming and shield, knowing that any aerial Corrin can hit me with, I can easily shield grab from here. I shield grab and get a down throw, which if you don't know is a free tech chase. Here's a clip I got of me playing a Sephiroth. This is a standard neutral interaction that ends in a win for me. At first, I'm kind of just throwing grenades. Sephiroth commits to a side B while there's a grenade directly above him. Now, he has to pick a defensive option in order to avoid the explosion from this grenade. Surprise, surprise, it's shield. A shielding opponent can't do anything, so I use this opportunity to inch up and get some stage control for myself. Now, as per standard shield pressure, I have to try to guess which option he will pick out of shield. I guess jump. I was right. I land a full neutral air, which is going to combo into a dash attack. This is a ton of damage for my neutral win. Good stuff. Here's a ledge trapping clip with me and a Cloud. As you can notice, the Cloud is having a very hard time getting back to stage. I start by pulling a grenade and setting it behind me. Since Cloud's recovery doesn't snap ledge, he is going to hit this grenade and cause it to detonate. Now he has to recover again. So I set up some up smashes. This denies a jump. I also want to discourage a roll, so I quickly dash back to roll distance like I'm trying to cover it. He picks the most appealing option in this instance, which is a neutral get up. I expect this and I go to land the punch. With these clips, I've hopefully proven that Snake's kit makes normally confusing situations involving key components of fighting games logical and concrete. To further drive this point home, I will be specifying how 3 of Snake's moves do this. The first of which is his Jab 1. A very interesting move given that it is safe on shield. This gives Snake a very unique opportunity. You get to figure out what your opponent is trying to press while in a jab. In other words, what does your opponent like to buffer while they are getting hit? Do they want to press shield to try to air dodge or get out of the combo? Do they mash an attack to try to hit you as soon as possible? After you figure this out, you can even start getting punishes off your jab. Due to the move safety, you can essentially do anything you want after the jab. Next, I want to discuss down throw. Down throw puts your opponent on the ground. From here, they have 5 options. You have to essentially read and cover the correct option in order to be rewarded. This can get even more complicated when you bring the specials into the mix. Now the down throw options can be covered simply with a dash attack or a down air. However, you can get into some incredibly complicated setups to cover a bunch of options. The down throw chases are essentially as complicated as you make them. I will link the MSC video down below on this. The reason I bring up down throw in this video is simply to show that every time you land a down throw with Snake, you get a very straightforward way to read your opponent's habits. The last of Snake's moves I'll be going over is his C4. This can be used in a variety of ways, one of which is stage control. More interestingly, you can stick the C4 on a shielding or countering opponent. This is going to result in some interesting scenarios. Sometimes the opponent runs at you and tries to hit you to get it off. You can then up smash out a shield and kill them at 30. Either this or the opponent starts to play very scared, in which they can pick grabbable options that lead to back throw detonate. Either way, when the opponent is stuck, their options are going to be more predictable. Watch how the opponent reacts to the fact that you could detonate the C4 at any time, or the fact that they could transfer it back to you. It is up to you to watch what your opponent does to avoid the detonation and punish accordingly. For the last part of this video, I'll be going over what makes Snake weak, and why it is actually good for a learning player. First of all, Snake does not get out of disadvantage for free. Due to his weight and lack of landing aerials, he often has a hard time getting to the ground. Of course, you have tools to do so, and it isn't impossible, but you are going to have to try to figure out how to avoid your opponent's juggling, an essential part of Smash Ultimate. If you don't, well, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. And no, you can't mash grenade to get you out of every situation, even though it is frame 1 and certainly helps. Snake's other weakness is his move safety. While his moves are fast and big and do a lot of damage, they are unsafe on shield. This means that just mashing them randomly at your opponent is probably not going to end well. If you are a new player, you will quickly realize that you have to place each of Snake's moves strategically. In other words, they each have to have a purpose. Mashing is not tolerated and will not be rewarded. That is all for this video. I hope it was effective in sharing learning strategies while dispelling some common Snake propaganda. If you would like to learn all there is to learn about this fascinating character, I highly recommend checking out PoppinSwiss's channel. His videos were a big inspiration for me as I tried to do what he did with Snake with my character, Peach. I consider his set of videos to be fully comprehensive regarding Snake. In addition, they are well structured and any techniques are perfectly explained. On your way out, remember to subscribe to this channel, and if you do decide to try Snake, I wish you the best of luck.